Okay, hello folks, welcome back. I also have a stream going to YouTube that I'm going to put the link into the comment section so that if we happen to have another break from Facebook, we're able to hop back on. There are some technical difficulties happening for those coming back. Technical difficulties occurring between Facebook and StreamYard that are making some potential um, issues here. Sorry, I'm looking for the link to find my stream.
Is that Raven Trueblood?
Maybe. This will be just a moment here. Sorry, guys. It's taking a moment. I just want to make sure we have a backup to go if we have another issue with the platform. Hello, yo. How's it going? I'm going to go ahead and get this. I'm going to do it see if I can do it from the phone. Okay, Jeremiah, do you want to recap what we covered in the first video before it crashed while I'm doing this?
Yes, absolutely. We just talked a little bit about the impending merger between Alpha and Omega, and of course that first match between Casey Luchador and the chosen one, Michael Parker. Casey Luchador came out on top of that one. He has been on a pretty good run over these last couple months, and I am excited for his future moving forward here.
And for the second match, we had Orlando Simpson pick up a victory over Zach Morris. Again, we talked about nice seeing some of these Riots guys having some pretty good success. Let's see here.
Absolutely. Especially, look, I absolutely believe Orlando Simpson would have been on the track to be a Riots champion, you know, a few months ago. And then, I mean, obviously he was on track to be a champion here of some sort here on Omega. So wherever iWrestling goes, this man, Orlando Simpson, will be a game changer here.
I don't disagree with you there. He is one of the hardest working, most determined people not named the Corruption Killer in all of IW. Okay, folks, I've gone ahead and I've posted it directly to the page, the YouTube link, just in case of issues with streaming.
And I think we do have a very, very big match up next. Am I right?
Yes, we have Anarchy taking on the Zanes.
Hey,
You can't get closer than a husband and a wife duo in wrestling, and these two obviously have a hell of a advantage going in, being they know each other so well, biblically
absolutely.
even.
Now they do have that tag team chemistry built over years and years, but this duo from Anarchy, it is, two of the top talents that Omega has to offer. So I'm
There are
excited to see how this
also
one plans out.
there are also two people who we're not exactly sure whether allegiances lie with one another, based on recent weeks.
We will
Um,
see.
and Chris Connolly, our biggest fan, and the world champion main event Matt Storm.
Now, the big thing with this, so
Yes, I addressed that in the previous video before in the process, and I was just doing a basic recap. But yes, technical difficulties with the platform uh, as far as streaming with Facebook. That's why we have a backup going on YouTube right now.
yeah. And where was I? Yes. Oh, sorry. Matt Storm and Chris Conley, they do have a little bit of heat, a little bit of beef, but they both care about one thing more than anything else, and that's winning. So I do think we can
Well,
put that aside for this match.
they might have a little beef. All we need now is a little bit of your cheddar, and we can have ourselves a cheeseburger.
You know, I well, I know you're a portly guy, but it's not all about food, my guy. You gotta
You
let
can't
go.
tell me a bacon cheeseburger doesn't sound fantastic right now.
Look, you're offending a vegan somewhere right now. I mean, we're trying to.
Fuck the vegan. This is our
This
last show. They can
You
suck my not
have
vegan
an uncanny
wiener.
ability to offend every possible person that you can. I cannot describe it.
And hello, Southern Heart. Don't forget to grant StreamYard permissions. Okay. Anyway, so you have the two of them, members of the same group, but obviously having had some potential issues between the two of them. We've seen it over weeks. And Blake Williams trying to tell us a couple weeks ago that everything was fine. It's no big deal is, rule number one in the wrestling world, that everything is not fine and everything is not okay. So I'm just saying, you know. But anyway, it was actually a pretty good contest. A lot of back and forth. And for a while there towards the end, it really looked like it was going to turn one-sided as Anarchy began to pick up a great deal of momentum and steam. A little bit of fighting back from the Zanes when a video comes on the screen for James Park. One of those little like teaser packages you see generally. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It starts rolling on the screen. Chris Connolly gets distracted, serves him right. He got rolled up by Harley Zane, and Harley Zane picked up the victory in what many consider an upset. But I think those people are wrong. Because, again, we talked about it earlier. These two know each other intimately. And
for Chris
man,
Connolly, the one taking the pinfall, that is a big event here on Wednesday Night Omega.
I mean, it's happened quite a few times. I mean, think about it. He didn't win the world championship twice. Matt Storm got that win in the one match that they were all together in, and not him. He's not where he once was or where he thinks he belongs.
Strong words. Hopefully you don't offend anybody.
I probably will.
Likely will.
No. After that, we got a nice match between the Corruption Killer and Raven Trueblood. The Corruption Killer was very determined to put down one of the most intense Bloodlust champions Riot's ever saw.
I was gonna mention, the mean streak in Raven Trueblood. He is a very violent competitor.
He is, and that was on display in certain sadistic ways tonight. But ultimately, a very determined Corruption Killer was able to pick up a victory over a very game Raven Trueblood in a hell of a close contest.
Very close contest.
Now, what was to follow ties back to something we said in the first part of this about poor Johnny Rotten. That man, every time he gets right there, and then like the carpet gets pulled out of him. With the frequency this is happening to him, I'm wondering if he didn't do one of those Ancestry.com things and he came back with a handful of minorities with the way IW is holding this man down. I'm just saying.
Man.
His great-great-great-great-grandmother was probably black, and she probably married a Mexican. Like, that's how much he's getting fucked over. Again and again. Poor guy. All that aside, however, he came out tonight in a hell of a contest with Lucifer Kane. We saw Lucifer Kane debut, if you will, the reemergence, the new skin to Sebastian Kane last week.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I called him the Fiend from Wish.com or the Wish.com Fiend.
Sounds like you.
I got a message from Spike last week afterwards that killed him. We know we have one fan overseas. It's probably because we talk so many nice things about him.
Well, he's a man of class, so how can we not?
This is true. Rotten would end up getting the win. And as the match came to an end, Austin Kruger came out and brutally, viciously attacked Lucifer Kane, making up for some of the issues that arose last week between the two of them.
It's a dirty business, man. You gotta pay those dues, and if you bark up the wrong tree, it might fall on you.
You know?
I know.
So that brought us to the Primetime Championship. We saw Rotten, in impressive fashion. He is the number one contender to the Primetime Championship. But I'm assuming this is, I don't know, maybe stuff's going to be delayed with the whole combination. Maybe it'll be another Alpha Omega show or something in between. I'm not 100% certain.
Well, if I don't think there is a number one contender for the television championship. So whatever they do decide, I mean, uh, Rodden has to be number one contender for something. I
I'm
mean,
saying this right now. Television Championship match. Mark and Graves defending against Johnny Rotten, again defending against Spike.
uh, uh no, no, no. Now Johnny Rotten is too good to compete for any form of. I mean, as I mentioned, right now that television championship is kind of down in the
Hold
dumps.
on. Follow my train of thought for a moment, okay? We finally get the Spike Rotten title match, the two of them for the title, and we get the benefit of seeing one of them. Dark and Graves just gets to be an afterthought. He's just there for the title so that one of them can have it.
See, you know how Spike.
And then instantly in the rebirth, the television championship becomes worthwhile again.
I see you. Now let me raise you. See, now Spike, you know how he typically often beats up his opponents more than necessary. I mean, why to distract him from achieving? I really want him to claim that. I really want both of them to each respectively be TV champion. So let Spike get what he's entitled to, and then Spike and J Rock can duke it out from there.
So I'm telling you, let the two of them just beat the crap out of him early on, right? Triple threat, so it's a hardcore environment. Anything goes. The two of them can. We saw them successfully win the Riots Tag Team Championship because, as much of rivals as they are capable of working together. So, an actual former tag team champions in a match with a single star who has a tendency to really piss people off, almost as much as me. And you take these two forces in there, and Markin's an afterthought. And we get a new television champion out of one of these two. And one way or another, whichever one of them wins, it's still a win for IW and everybody as a whole.
That's fair. Now, that also would likely, if that did turn out to be a triple threat match, I don't see either of those two taking the fall. So that would still set up a rematch for the. I mean, obviously that one-on-one is the money match. I mean, that's who the people really want to see. So.
Exactly. But so Spike defended his primetime championship tonight against Southern Heart, who was accompanied by Hella Undead. The combination of Hella Hearts, which you and I came up with on air one day. I'm like, fuck it, Hella Heart, you're a tag team, and it stuck. And these two women have done fantastic work together. Two almost completely different women who together make up for each other's shortcomings. So, however, being it was only one in the ring and another one on the outside, Spike was able to pick up the victory over Southern Heart in a pretty solid contest. After defeating Hart, Spike calls to Hella, starts mocking Hella. Hella tries to get in the ring. The ref keeps them separate. Personally, now, if I was Johnny Rotten, I would have come right out and just blasted him and been like, fuck you, my, word that I should never use the actual R on. But then again, by this point, Johnny Rotten probably knew, hey, this is the end of the line, so why bother?
Yeah.
Which brought us to one of the two main events of the evening. Austin Kruger took on Julian Thunder. Julian Thunder managed to pick up the victory clean.
Now, our guy Julian Thunder has been striving for greatness for the past few months now. He's another guy who really got his feet wet in Riots, and now with when Riots and Omega merged, he really started picking up some wins. here in Omega. So I'm glad that here on this last episode of Omega, he's capturing some championship gold, the Extreme Championship.
And obviously, Lucifer Kane wasn't at ringside after the events from earlier in the evening, so it was pretty much a one-on-one match, and it was a pretty impressive one. Which brings us to our final main event of the evening.
Okay.
Which was a six-man tag. You had the Redemption from Anarchy teaming with the maybe United Kingdom champion DJB, maybe not. There's still this question over who has the real title. Was there a real title? Was a fake title stolen? Was it replaced with a real title? Was it, some Deus Ex Machina has shit happening here? I don't know. So him. And they took on the returning Essence of Excellence, Thomas Marks, DJB, and El Unicornio, who still has, well, he did still have that title in his possession. I want to go ahead and show you something before we cover this end here. After the show went off the air, as I was, finishing up my notes and preparing to come sit down in the studio, this was given to me. El Unicornio wanted me to make sure everyone knew that now I have DJB's champion. So who's the rightful champion? I guess it's me, and I guess it doesn't matter because Omega's over. I'm the final United States champion of Omega. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. El Unicornio was very kind to me.
I'm glad. We do have James Park chiming in here, clarifying things for us here. So, okay, perfect. Josh, you are the United States champion, and it looks like DJB is the Untied Kingdom champion. Perfect.
That's awesome. I think he meant United, but I'll go with it. So.
No. The Untied Kingdom champion.
Oh, good times.
We can't make this shit up, man.
I mean, we do every week. On the fly, too. So, this six-man contest did not go the way I think anyone had thought it would or ever imagined it would.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty solid match back and forth, but as things were really starting to heat up, and DJB was trying to make a hot tag to get out, Shooter and Bruno just leave. They just leave, leaving DJB stunned. He turns around, he eats a finisher from Thomas Marks. He eats a finisher from James Park, and he walks right into the Unicornio driver from El Unicornio, driver 1, the Psycho driver.
Whoa!
And El Unicornio picks up the 1-2-3 over DJB, officially declaring himself the United States champion. I mean, in his mind, this is now the second time he's beat DJB, and he's the champion. This time he pinned him. The last time he won by disqualification. According to him, this means he's the champion. And I'm not going to argue because the man gave me the title. So,
well, aside from the controversy here, now I'm pretty. What's the deal with Redemption and like where's the beef with them and DJB? I mean, usually champions stick together, man. The winner's circle. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I think maybe they just said fuck it. It doesn't matter anymore.
Well,
and they just I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we talked about potentially them having to, unify the tag team championships against Southern Justice. Maybe they're trying to save themselves for that big, inevitable tag match. I don't know. I don't have no explanation for it. That was, like I said, man, usually those winners, they stick together.
I mean, that does happen. But maybe they're just thinking that DJB isn't really that much of a winner.
I mean, his track record has proven differently. Although the Untied Kingdom champion. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. But what I do know is it was definitely an uh, interesting evening with an interesting end. I myself have to say I was very pleased to see DJB eat shit the way he did. I love it when that stuff happens. And I don't. I think there couldn't have been a nicer guy than El Unicornio to do it.
El Unicornio is a nice guy. I mean, El Unicornio, Thomas Marks, and James Park, all nice
Look,
guys. So
I still got my mask from him. Okay, like you remember, I was on air a couple Mondays ago
Mhm.
representing El Unicornio before
yes,
his
yes.
big match with DJB.
Mhm.
I love seeing El Unicornio succeed.
Oh, don't we all?
He's fun.
A man, a man of color. It is hard for the minorities to find success in this country, but he has defied all the odds.
That reminds me, actually, mentioning Man of Color. I do believe El Unicornio said something about renaming this the Mexican Championship.
Oh,
So maybe there's something's going to go on with that. You got that North American Championship on Alpha, and now Mexico's part of North America. I'm assuming we just forget about the United Kingdom part, and maybe it's we're getting El Unicornio.
what is this United Kingdom that you speak of? The Untied Kingdom? You mean?
Yes,
Okay.
the Untied Kingdom.
Okay.
Look at you not being embarrassed this week and making jokes. Chris Connolly will be excited. He's going to be so happy.
Now, we did have a great show this week. Everybody put forth a great effort. It's really what makes iWrestling special here. And I do want to thank everybody for their contributions because, as I mentioned, it's all one big gravy train, and need everybody to work.
And I love gravy, especially on mashed potatoes.
Mhm. Hey. I mean, me personally, I like my gravy. Uni- United. Oh, United Kingdom.
Brighton.
Brighton. Yes. Brighton. Okay. Brighton.
Those little fingers must be having a tough time with the keys. We love you, James.
Okay. Wait. Brighton. So is that like, is that a tanning salon for only people named Brian? Like,
It could be. It very well could be.
Is it, Brighton? What is that? I'm trying to think. What could that possibly be? Yikes! Is it, what is that?
It
United
might
Kingdom
be.
Brighton.
It might be like Kafafi for the Irish.
United Kingdom, Britain, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Okay, now you're just naming countries.
United States. No. North America, Canada, United States, Mexico.
Oh shit! South
European.
America, Brazil.
Don't forget that Rio de Janeiro. That's where a lot of titles change hands.
Asia, India, Hong Kong, Japan,
China, not Hong Kong. And you gotta say it like this: China.
Australia, the South Pole.
Well, yeah, Australia's got New Zealand there, and they got North and South Australia.
Okay.
Geography, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
That's Antarctica. Wait, Antarctica. That's the South Pole, right?
It's a pole, and not the kind
It's
that naked ladies
pole.
dance on, so I'm not really that interested.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, quick recap, folks. Casey Luchador defeated Michael Parker. Orlando Simpson got the win over Zach Morris by a distraction with a video package of James Park not a video of James Park's package, which would be weird. The Zanes pick up a surprise victory when Harley Zane rolls up Chris Connolly for what many consider an upset win. I don't. The Corruption Killer very determinedly picks up the win over Raven Trueblood. Johnny Rotten defeats Lucifer Kane, and Kane is attacked by Kruger afterwards. Spike defeats Southern Heart. An altercation looks to break out between him and Hella, but the ref keeps it from happening. Julian Thunder defeated Austin Kruger. Kane was not at ringside due to being attacked brutally earlier in the evening. Julian Thunder is the new Extreme Champion. And in the main event, Redemption left at the peak moment of the match, leaving DJB to fend for himself. James Park, Thomas Marks, and El Unicornio each took turns hitting him with a finishing move, and El Unicornio got the victory. Final pinfall over DJB, declaring himself the official United States / United Kingdom, Untied Kingdom Mexican champion, and then gave me the title before we went on air. So, a nice piece of memorabilia.
And so when we inevitably have to crown a undisputed North American champion, because obviously whether it is the United States, the Mexican championship, whatever it is, that we will have to unify and have a undisputed North American champion. Who is it going to be facing? Who will it be facing Grant Miller?
Probably somebody's mom.
Okay. Let's see here. Hey, is there a number one contender for that championship? Let Johnny Rotten be the number one contender for all of the championships. Let's just.
Johnny Rotten and Unfiltered would be an interesting contest.
Jay Rotten, man. Jay Rotten.
But so yeah, I think that about wraps us up. We have no idea what the future holds exactly. But from what I understand, from what I've read on the new group, I do believe we are officially. Yes, James, I said everybody hit their finisher on DJB. I know you hit your finisher. I said that. I'll say it again. I'm not saying it again. I forget what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Looks like results will be a different fashion. And we'll see where that goes going forward. But as far as I know, this might be our last outing as your broadcast team for results, which is a shame because even James Park is a decent broadcast colleague on Monday nights, primarily because he's so easy to get riled up.
And before we go, I do want to answer his question. Why not have an international championship? We could have an intercontinental champion and make all of these people. That is the most non-racist thing you've said in the past month here, James. I'm going to call you James. I'm going to call you Gary first name. I'm not even going to use that letter. So see, boom, we're making progress here. So yes, we may use an intercontinental champion. Good point.
And he said international.
But that's not a thing, so. And intercontinental is nations are within continents. So yeah.
Well, intercontinental will be like where two continents connect, or no, intercontinental would be within a continent. So it would be like North American or South American or European or,
But so, I thought international was between nations and intercontinental was between continents.
Maybe. I did try new stuff tonight. Space candy might have done a little too much to me.
Okay, the space candy. Blame it on
space candy and peach rings.
Blame it on the chocolate cake.
The chocolate cake. I didn't have chocolate cake, but chocolate cake sounds really good with a slab of some ice cream on the side. I'm just saying it'd be fantastic. I can't go to a show without food.
Yeah, apparently. So that was an inside joke. Apparently, according to Bruce Pritchard, that is what him and Robbie Heenan used to use as a code word for.
What?
It was a code word for.
What was the code word?
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Oh, okay. To make Chris Connolly happy. I had to eat on air.
Oh, okay.
But so yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We have no idea what's going next. Sorry about the little snafu earlier on with the platform issues with Facebook. We did do the backup to YouTube. If you're having to watch this on YouTube, cool. If you have no idea what we're talking about any of this because you found this randomly on YouTube, hey, still cool. Slap a like. Drop a line. I'll explain it if you really want to know. It's good times.
Very good.
So thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And I'd say we'll see you next week, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So adios, farewell. I bid you all adieu, signing off for the last time of the Omega After Party. Jeremiah and Joshua, you guys have been great, but not as good as us.